Guess what? I'm fat. In fact, I have always been fat. Always. And to be honest, at the rate that I'm going, I'm going to continue to be fat for the rest of my life. Hi, I'm Caroline Angeles, and I am starting a brand new channel. I didn't even want to start making these videos. I have been putting it off forever, like putting it off, because here's the thing. I am starting a weight loss channel, right? Talking about weight loss, sharing my experience, but I'm not already there, right? Like I'm in the middle. I haven't already lost 175 pounds. I'm not like this huge success story that I'm sharing with you and telling you this is how you do it. This is the way to lose weight. No, I am in the middle. And I say in the middle because I've been trying to lose weight and get slim my entire life. In fact, I have never known what it's like to be slim, right? So, in the grand scheme of things, I'm in the middle. But as of right now, I guess you would say I'm in the beginning. I have had some success so far, and I have a plan, and I know what I'm going to do and what I'm going to continue to do. And that is what I'm going to share with you. My point for having this channel in the first place, the most important thing to me, the reason I am doing this is because I feel like it's so important to share the experience, to not just be at the end of this telling you I had all this great success and it's amazing because I have watched those videos. They show at the end of things after someone has accomplished so much. But what they haven't shown is the struggle, the ups and downs, and how frustrating it is, and how you're making progress. And sometimes the progress stalls, or you hit a bump, or you have victories along the way, and it's wonderful, but then it's not. I literally have 175 pounds to lose. This is going to take a while, right? And this is not going to be like this, I guess that it would go like this. It's not going to be like I start here and wham, I'm there and it's perfect. It's going to look like this. And that's what I want to share. I want to share this. I want to help other people know that they're not alone, that they have someone who is walking the journey with them. And I want to say right here and right now, I'm going to share the things that I'm doing and what I'm working on, but I want to just put it right out there at the beginning that my focus is not going to be on some diet. I'm not going to be trying to sell you some kind of diet pills or some kind of wonder drug or whatever. I have not had weight loss surgery. I am just a woman who has been overweight her whole life, but really needs to lose weight and as quickly as possible, but knowing it's going to take a while because I have a long way to go. But my emphasis is on changing my mindset. It is on changing how I think, because no matter what the method is for losing weight, right? No matter what way I have approached it in the past and I approach it in the future, if I don't change my mindset, if I don't change how I see myself, how I feel about myself, that weight is going to come right back. It's going to come right back. And I know that for a fact because it has happened time and time again. And this time I can't play around. Like my health is struggling. I am struggling with my health. Things are starting to happen. I'm not young anymore. My body doesn't just bounce back from the weight and the problems that come with being overweight, right? So I have to lose weight this time, and this time for good. And the only way that is going to happen is by me changing my mindset and making sure that my relationship with food is healed, that the way that I think about myself and see myself is healed, and that I am ready to be a slim person. I'm ready to be an active and healthy person in my mind as well as in my body. And if you're watching this video, I really think that you know what I'm talking about. I've lost weight before. I have lost it before. Well, I never got thin, but I lost a lot of weight, but, in my brain, I really feel like I never lost the weight. I was always just the biggest person in the room, and I never adjusted that thinking. And as long as my thinking is not adjusted, it might come off, but it's not going to stay off. So let me talk about just a little bit about my plan. Like I said before, I'm not doing some special diet. I am not going to exercise myself to death. I'm not doing the weight loss shots that are so popular right now. I'm not signing up for weight loss surgery. So my plan is just really and truly to take better care of myself. And I know that this works. I know that when I move my body more and when I eat better and when I feel most especially when I feel happy, when I feel good about myself, the weight comes off naturally. It is not so much of an effort. And so that is what I'm sticking to. I know that this plan may change as I progress, as I lose more weight, as I maybe hit some speed bumps. That might change, but this is my plan right now. And no matter what, my number one focus, that looked like two, my number one focus is changing my mindset. I would also like to share that I think I mentioned a minute ago that I have had some success since the beginning of July, which was only 4-ish, maybe 5 months by now. I've lost 25 pounds. In these videos that I'm going to be doing, I will be sharing some of the tools that I have developed to help me on this weight loss. I like to call it an adventure. The word journey just seems tedious and laborious and not fun. So let's call it an adventure. I have developed some tools of my own that I am using daily. Like one of them it's a placemat that I have that helps me to remember about eating and my emotions involved with eating and stuff like that. I also have a daily journal that helps me to remember what this is all about and stay on track. Not so much, I don't know what you would call it, like beating myself into submission and forcing myself, but more like uplifting every single day, uplifting myself every single day, reminding myself that like I already have a lot of good things going in my life. There's a lot of good things, and making improvements to my life by losing weight is just making improvements. It's not changing me. It's not fixing me. I'm not broken. Okay. So that those are just a couple of the tools that I have. I have lots of tools and I'm going to be sharing those in these videos. I think that it's really important that you know where I'm coming from, that you know kind of my backstory, my history. And I really do think that I have a lot to share that is relatable, that you will probably see yourself in some of the stories, in some of the history that I have. And again, there will be videos that talk about specifics with regards to this history. I think it's really important because this is the whole reason, like my history, all the way back when I was a baby has contributed to my mindset, to how I see myself, to why I do the things that I do. And so I'm just going to talk about a little bit of that history. I had, I guess, no, we weren't normal in any really many senses of the word. We moved all the time. Like we just moved constantly. So I had kind of a tumultuous upbringing in that way, like not a lot of security. I didn't live in one home my whole life. In fact, I'm not even going to share the number of places and times that I moved because it's completely unbelievable. In fact, when I look at it and I count it, it just seems ridiculous how someone could have moved that many times. I'm not going to say it. It's going to make me feel like a weirdo. I don't need you to think that I'm a weirdo. Anyway, so we moved a ton. Let's just say this. Like in elementary school, I literally went to 3 schools in a year on average. Like it was really normal for us to change that many times. On top of that, my parents fought a lot. A lot of that fighting had to do with moving, but it also had to do with my mom's alcoholism, something that she struggled with a lot, especially in our youth, but got a hold of to her credit. Like she got a hold of that, and she has been dry for, they want to say like 20 years now. So it's kudos to mom, excited for that, but to be real, and I think that she understands this, is that alcoholism caused a lot of damage. It caused a lot of stress and issues, right? And things, again, that I will be dealing with. So fast forward through my teenage years, I just thought our dysfunctional family was normal. I didn't know anything about dysfunction, right? Like it just was. Went to college, started experiencing how other people have their families, and I'm like, you know what? This is not really normal. There are some things that were not okay. Also, something that is very important that has happened in my development in making me believe what I believe about myself and who I am is that I did experience abuse as a child. So I just want to add that in there. It's very personal. It's, of course, not something that somebody wants to talk about, but it's important because it's part of who I am and it's part of why I am who I am. In college, I started exploring the fact that I was screwed up. But it took me a while in life's experiences for me to really start processing that there were things about me, about the way that I approached things that needed fixing and changing. Is, my inability to have a relationship that lasted. Well, honestly, my ability to fall in love with a man who was available, meaning I literally fell in love with one guy after another, three of them who all came out of the closet later. Like they were gay. So, clearly I was choosing to fall in love with guys who were not available emotionally. And that was devastating for me, especially the third one. The third one really messed me up. Again, another story for another day. But that relationship pushed me, or the failure of that relationship pushed me into a massive depression, which then led me into feeling the extreme weight of being alone. And I didn't want to be alone. And so at some point, it was like around 36, 37, I decided I'd had enough of that. And so I went on the fast track to getting married. And fast track, I mean fast track. So I started dating online. I started dating a guy, and he turned out to be not a great choice. And I married him. And it didn't take very long before I was being abused physically and emotionally. He was a narcissist. It was not a fun experience. So again, another story for another day. But just to give you some background, I never, ever pictured myself as a woman who would find herself in an abusive relationship. I just have always pictured myself as a really strong woman. And I guess I just didn't understand the psychology and the things that happen that take a woman who is strong into a relationship that is as destructive as physical and emotional abuse. Thankfully, I was able to escape that relationship, healing from that relationship, healing from the relationship before that even took me into this marriage in the first place. Doing all of that healing, it is taking me forever. A lot of work, a lot of soul searching, a lot of time, just a lot of time, which has brought me here. Still living in the basement of my sister's apartment, or not apartment, but her home, and still struggling with things like finances. I have not been interested at all in a relationship at all, but I want to get there. I do want that to happen in my life at some point. Still struggling with my weight. At this point in my life, I just feel like enough is enough. Like When is this going to change? I clearly have a mindset. I clearly have beliefs about myself that have brought about this pattern that has lasted throughout my life. And I want to break that pattern and I want to change that. And that starts with looking at who I am, why I feel the way that I feel about myself. And when I do that, not only is my weight going to come off, but my financial situation is going to get better. I'm going to be able to have a relationship. I am going to progress in the ways that I have always wanted to progress and just have felt so stuck. And I guess that's it. I'm a mess right now, to tell you the truth, and I'm getting it together. And that's why I'm sharing this video, even though it's been really hard to want to share this video, because who wants to put out there that I'm a mess? But I have felt compelled, so very compelled, to share this process, to let other people in on this process, because I feel like I'm not the only one. So if you're here, I'm guessing it's because maybe you're experiencing the same or similar kinds of things, and maybe you're feeling stuck too. And so let's do it together. Let's walk this together.